Before we start learning English, so one of the students, let's pray together, please.
Okay friends, let's pray together. Finish.
Hari ini saya akan menyampaikan tujuan pembelajarannya ya. Tujuan pembelajarannya yaitu ada 4. Yang pertama, nanti kalian akan menganalisis ya. Menganalisis kaitannya dengan generic structure, kemudian social function, kemudian ada apa lagi? Language feature. Kemudian tujuan yang kedua, nanti kalian harus bisa membedakan langkah-langkah atau steps dari teks tersebut. Dan tujuan yang ketiga, yaitu nanti kalian harus bisa membuat proyek berupa apa? Menulis teks prosedur, kemudian kalian juga harus bisa mempresentasikan dengan menggunakan media IT. Paham ya? Tujuan pembelajaran kita selama 4 jam pelajaran atau 2 kali pertemuan. Berarti pertemuan pertama, tujuan pembelajaran kita yaitu menganalisis generic structure, social function, language feature dari teks prosedur atau of prosedur teks. Kemudian tujuan yang kedua, kalian harus bisa membedakan langkah-langkah atau step by step of the procedure text. Paham? Jadi kita tahu arahannya, belajarnya, endingnya kemana, tahu ya? Oke, kemudian perlu saya sampaikan kaitannya dengan teknik penilaian. Ya, teknik penilaian, nanti penilaian itu ada yang namanya assessment formatif dan unjuk kerja atau praktek. Nah, praktek di sini nanti siswa harus bisa menghasilkan suatu proyek. Ya, suatu proyek berupa apa kalau di sini teksnya? Karena kita belajarnya teks prosedur, kita fokus skillnya adalah written skill, berarti nanti kalian harus bisa membuat teks prosedur, tentunya dikaitkan dengan kehidupan nyata. Oke? Skill, fokus ke written skill. Dan tentunya tidak mengurangi pembelajaran spokennya. Karena di akhir pertemuan nanti kalian harus bisa mempresentasikan proyek tersebut menggunakan media Canva, tentunya dengan lebih menonjolkan spoken skillnya. Oke, don't worry, relax aja ya, relax aja. Oke, who is absent today?
Today is
full. Today is full?
Yeah.
There is no students, there is no absent? Oh, good ya, because the accounting class is apa? The best ya, accounting class is very the best. Memang the best kelas kalian. Semua checking the attendance, saya akan cek absennya. Saya sebutkan nomor absennya. Kemudian seperti biasa ya, every meeting you say a new sentence ya. Kalian menyebutkan satu kalimat yang berbeda. Saya sebutkan dengan number 23. Number 3.
I'm here, Mom. I like English, but I don't like grammar.
Oke. Thank you. Kita cek dulu untuk videonya ya.
It will deteriorate its health much faster than a cold battery. It's best to stay out of the heat when using your laptop, but it's also equally important when it comes to storing your laptop. If you work on the laptop at temperatures between 32 and 40 degrees and use it every day, the battery will lose only 4% of its total charge after 3 months. And if you store your laptop at temperatures up to 50 degrees, the battery will lose between draining faster, and excessive use at high temperatures will inevitably lead to damage to the battery. So, make sure to use your laptop in situations where the ambient temperature is not hot. Second tip, plug it in before it dies. Many users prefer to charge the batteries when they reach 0%, and this is a very big mistake, and it will lead to the loss of the battery and its destruction quickly. Studies have shown that the charges up to 50% are better for long-term battery life compared to a large discharge 0%. And the best thing is to start charging the battery when it reaches 20% because this extends the battery life, because using a low charge puts pressure on the battery itself and ultimately reduces its ability to charge. And remember, never let your computer battery drop to 0%. Third tip, never let your laptop always be plugged in. Laptop manufacturers are warning laptop users to keep their laptops plugged in all the time. It is best to use the laptop until the battery is depleted to 20%, then plug it in for recharging. But some laptops may have a smart charging mode that prioritizes battery health, in which case you can continue to connect it. Fourth tip, do not leave it fully charged. Have you ever heard of the 80/40 rule? Experts advise charging nickel-based batteries between 40% and 80%, and although this rule is said not to be geared towards newer lithium-ion batteries, it is still a great guide. If the charge reaches 100%, do not leave it connected to the current, because leaving it connected will definitely affect the health of the battery. And if you need to charge it overnight, use programs that cut off the power when the charge reaches 100%. Fifth tip, unplug unused peripherals. Experts in laptop manufacturers recommend unplugging any peripherals, for example, external hard drive or webcam while using battery power, as well as transferring data between your device and the laptop, as connecting these devices draws power to the peripheral device itself even when not in use. This is an obvious drain on your laptop's battery. Sixth tip, make sure you have enough RAM. Dell laptop manufacturer made this suggestion to extend the battery life of the laptop, as if the computer can store the information in your RAM instead of the hard disk. It will do so. This is a faster way to recover data. It also prevents the hard drive from working as much, which leads to massive battery drainage. So make sure you have enough RAM to keep your laptop battery. Seventh tip, turn down screen brightness. I guess you won't need your screen to be super bright all the time. So, lower the screen brightness, because the lower screen brightness helps save laptop battery power, and thus the battery life is better. Screen is a big drain on most devices. Also, change your display settings so that the screen turns off after a shorter period of inactivity. I hope that the previous tips will explain to you how to preserve the life of the laptop battery, and keep in mind that these simple tips will protect your battery from rapid damage. Also will make the battery longer and healthier. Do not neglect these tips. Thank you for watching, and I hope to subscribe to my channel. Thank you all.
Okay, do you understand this video?
Yes.
This video tells about how to care laptop battery. Do you have laptop?
Yes.
Aduh, sayang sekali ya. You have no laptop ya? Okay. So when your mother buys laptop for you, you can care laptop very well ya. Ketika nanti ibu kalian membelikan, berarti kalian bisa merawatnya dengan baik ya. Okay. There are 3 video to understand the procedure text ya. Nanti ada 3 video yang akan saya putarkan untuk apa? Untuk memahami kalian apa sih yang namanya procedure text. What is procedure text ya? Jadi saya tidak akan menjelaskan procedure text is bla bla bla, tidak. Cukup ya. Just you watch this video. Okay? The second video.
Operating a computer.
Okay, look at the whiteboard and then listen carefully.
A computer. Hey Marty, till now I have read that computer is a beneficial machine. But but I still don't know how to start and shut down a computer. To start and shut down a computer, you must follow the given steps. Steps to start a computer. Step 1. Insert the computer plug in the socket and switch on the power. Step 2. Switch on the UPS by pressing the on or off button. Step 3. Simply press the power button of the CPU. Step 4. Switch on the monitor by pressing the on or off button. Some more. Starting a computer is called booting the computer. As the computer starts, the following screen appears. Desktop. The first screen when you start a computer is called the desktop. Icons. These are small pictures. Steps to shut down a computer. Now I will tell you how to shut down a computer. Parts. Will the computer work when there is no electricity? Step 1. Close all opened programs. Step 2. Click on the start button. Step 3. If you want to turn off the power, then click shut down without clicking other options. Step 4. Click other options to switch user, log off, lock, restart, sleep. Step 5. Wait patiently as the system shuts down. Step 6. Switch off the monitor. Step 7. Switch off the UPS. Step 8. Switch off the power plug. Some more. Laptops and other smaller computers do not have a UPS. They have a battery.
Oke, pertanyaannya, do you have a computer? Do you have a computer? No. Do you ever operate the computer? Do you ever operate the computer? Yes. Are you sure everyone ever operate the computer? Yakin everyone sudah pernah mengoperasikan komputer? Ya. Yeah. Or just touch the computer? Atau hanya touch the computer saja? Hah? Okay. This video tells about how to operate komputer. Sama tidak dengan video yang pertama? No ya. The first video is not same with the second video. Ya. Videonya berbeda dengan video yang pertama. Okay, the last video.
Discussing money is considered as a taboo in various countries, and thus many parents don't discuss money with their children. But this can be one of the biggest blunders, because when the children grow up, they may end up making big financial mistakes. So, it is very important to learn money management as early as possible. If you see the list of the richest people in the world, you will notice that many of them started learning about personal finance at a very young age. Warren Buffett is the best example, since he started investing in stocks at the age of 11 and today is worth $100 billion because of the compounding effect. So, in this video, we will discuss about the most important personal financial tips that you must follow. Let's get started. Number 1. Start investing. Any form of receiving money, like the pocket money you get, the money you have saved, the money you receive as a gift, or the money that you have earned. You can invest a part of this money into various asset classes like stocks, mutual funds, bonds, debentures, crypto, or any other asset class. If you are under 18, then you can also open a Demat account with the documents of your parents, your siblings, or the relatives who are all above 18. And if you don't have knowledge about the asset classes mentioned earlier, you can also invest with the help of experts. For example, if you don't have knowledge about the stock market, you can start investing in mutual funds or index funds, where you hand over your money to an expert in exchange for a small fee. And remember to start early as possible, so that compounding can work in your favor for a very long time. Number 2. Create a budget. Always create a budget for yourself that includes your budgeting process. And make sure you also avoid impulsive spending. Number 3, avoid leverage. Leverage is not always a bad thing, but many teenagers take loans to show off in front of others. Many teenagers buy expensive gadgets, branded clothes with the money they have borrowed. This can land teenagers in a debt trap, which can be very dangerous for them. Number 4, hedge yourself with insurance products. One of the biggest lessons people have learned in this pandemic is the importance of insurance. A major health issue can result in people losing their entire life savings on getting back on track with their health. So, it is very important to have health insurance and other insurances according to your needs and financial goals. Number 5, pay yourself first. George Samuel Clayson, an American entrepreneur, introduced this term, pay yourself first, which means to take aside an amount after you start earning. Here, you can use the 50-30-20 rule, which means to spend 50% on needs, 30% on wants and 20% on savings. This rule looks very simple, but it is very difficult to follow since many people start spending just after they have received their salary. So, first keep aside 20% as your savings and then spend the money you are left with. And don't forget to have an emergency fund of at least 6 months, and if you don't have one, start building it so that it can help you in times of emergency. So, these were the most important financial tips for students to follow, and eventually, these simple but most effective financial benefits will help you to get financially free one day. So, if you find value in this video, then do share it with your friends and do subscribe to our channel for more.
Do you understand the third video? Do you understand the third video? Yes. This video talk about okay. It's very important, yeah. It's very important for you. How to waste your money? How to waste your money? How to waste? Okay, pertanyaannya how to waste your money? How to use your money? Huh? How to use your money? Kalau tadi how to manage, sekarang pertanyaannya how to use your money? How to waste your money? Shopping. Because ladies likes shopping. Okay, ladies like shopping. Another, yang lain? How to waste, how to use your money? Shopping, and then? Healing, and then? Buying as cool, segernya. Next, buying apa? Buying skincare, itu nomor 1 ya, biar selalu glow up. Yang lain? Outfit tentu, ya outfit juga harus kece ya. Oke, how to waste your money? Kalau disuruh menghabiskan, jago semua ya. Tadi video tadi adalah untuk mengontrol kalian how to manage your money. Oke, sekarang saya jelaskan kenapa pentingnya kita belajar bahasa Inggris berkaitan dengan teks prosedur. Tanpa kita sadari bahwa yang namanya prosedur, teks prosedur itu banyak sekali kita jumpai di sekeliling kita. Iya tidak? Kalau di rumah misalnya, do you have electronic equipments? Yes. Can you mention them? Laptop, yeah. Iron, and then vacuum cleaner, and then handphone, and then rice cooker, microwave, and then washing machine. Oke, banyak sekali kita jumpai di rumah kita ya. Tentunya dengan melihat itu, how to operate them. How to operate them. Bagaimana cara mengoperasikannya? I don't know. When you buy the electronic equipments, so read Ya. Read apa? The procedure to use the washing machine, procedure to use blender. Langkah pertama ya kalian harus bisa melihat dulu prosedurnya, teks prosedurnya atau step-stepnya. Biar apa? Biar kalian bisa mengoperasikannya dengan baik. Oke, langkah selanjutnya, I ask you make a group, ya. Saya meminta kalian make a group, and then, okay, this meeting, two assessment, ya. The first individual assessment, and then the second assessment for group. Look at this paper. The first practice, understand this instruction, arrange the following jumble sentences, become a good arrangement of a procedure text, and then handwrite your work in template below. Okay, do you understand this instruction? Do you understand? Okay. Just 5 minutes to arrange the sentence. Come on, please. Just 5 minutes to arrange the sentence into a good procedure text. Yeah, 5 minutes. Do the exercise one by one. Yeah, one by one. Okay. Yeah. Your answer. Wow. Almost the students can do exercise very well. So, I believe you can understand about procedure text, yeah? Almost can do the exercise very well. Almost the students, yeah? Okay, thank you. And then, the second practice, latihan yang kedua adalah kalian yang pertama diskusi kelompok dulu. Ya. Oke, 10 minutes to discuss about generic structure, social function, and then language feature of the procedure text. Silakan diskusi 10 menit membahas tadi yang dilihat itu apa. Video tadi yang pertama tentang apa? Video yang kedua tentang apa? Video yang ketiga tentang apa? Ya, don't forget write on your book ya. Ditulis di buku biar kalian tidak lupa hasil diskusinya. And then one of the students can explain ya. Can explain. Another students, please listen to her. The title of the second video.
The title of the second video is how to operating a computer.
How to operate computer. Okay, next. Generic structure. Goal or aims of the procedure text.
The goal is to tell how to operating computer.
How to operate ya, not operating. How to operate. And then generic structure. Generic structure-nya, kemudian step by step. The first step.
The first step is insert the computer like in the like and switch on the power.
Okay.
Next switch on the by pressing the on button.
Next.
Simply press the power button of the CPU.
Okay.
The last switch on the monitor by presses on the button starting moving.
Enough? Okay. Listen carefully. Listen to me, please sit down. Oke, sebelum saya tutup, kita perlu membuat jadwal, ya, menyusun jadwal kaitannya dengan sintak. Ya, sintak itu apa? Langkah selanjutnya biar sampai ke proyek yang kita tentukan. Di awal sudah saya jelaskan ya, proyek kita adalah membuat teks prosedur, ya, disesuaikan dengan kompetensi keahlian kalian, yaitu akuntansi, dan mempresentasikannya melalui media Canva. Okay, everyone, let's go ice breaking. Are you ready? Ready. Claps one. Claps two. Yes, claps three. Cool. Claps one. Claps two. Yes, claps three. Cool.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Asmina. I am the representative of Income Group. Okay. As you can see on the screen, in today's representation, I going to talk about how to create customer and supplier data in the MyOp application. Next. Okay. What is MyOp? MyOp is an accounting computer application program for recording activities or transactions to complete bookkeeping work automatically, completely, quickly, and accurately. In MyOp, one of the important elements is suppliers and customers in carrying out transactions. To create customer and supplier data, you need to pay attention to the correct steps. Next. Okay, tools that we need is just laptop or PC. Before that, make sure that you have the MyOp application on your laptop or PC. The first step is open the MyOp application until it displays the command center. Second step, then select card file and card list. Third steps, after that, click new on the menu that is displayed. Select the card type to be customer card, individual card, supplier card. Fill in data such as name, address, and even telephone number. Then click OK. Finally, the entire list of supplier and customer has been recorded in the MyOp application. Have any question?
Okay, students, thank you for your presentation. You are all the best. Okay, do you have any difficulty to learn procedure text? No. I hope after learning activity, you can make a procedure text based on your environment. Saya berharap setelah pembelajaran ini kalian bisa membuat teks prosedur berkaitan dengan lingkungan sekitar kalian. Okay, before we go home, one of the students, let's pray together.
Let's try together.
Don't forget, be careful on the way. Goodbye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.